Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, and thank you so much for joining the live today. I'm so happy to be joined by Tobi Henney. Tobi is an Australian, now based in New York, celebrity makeup artist who I've known for so long. And I had the privilege of meeting Tobi back in 2016 in Sydney at one of her masterclasses, and we've been in touch ever since, and I followed her journey on her way to New York and doing all the amazing things she has done with her clients. She's worked with Poppy Delevingne, Barbara Palvin, Megan Fox, Taylor Hill, just to name a few of her wonderful client list. So I'm going to invite Tobi in, and we're going to chat through all your questions and also talk through the look she created and the process through the creation of the look that she did for Barbara, which won the poll earlier this week. So I will invite Tobi in. Is joining. Hello.
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 Peter.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. It's so good to see your face.
I know.
I'm excited for our chat.
Likewise. Yes, it's been too. I mean, we speak all the time on here, but it's so nice to see your face.
You too. I know we've been through this journey together. I'm so proud of you too. I feel like your page has grown so much. It's always an honor to be on there.
Thank you so much. I know it was just said in my little intro here that we met back in 2016 at one of your masters. I think just before you went to the States.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's been so nice to sort of see how the evolution of your career as you ventured over to the US and taking over the US and Europe with all your amazing work. So it's so nice to see that. Yeah. How have you been? How's your week been?
I've been really good. I just had a few days off, which was amazing.
Yeah, nice.
I've been flying a lot. So sometimes, the back and forth to LA. I was in Miami for a shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just need, a little bit of downtime. And I got that on the weekend, which was amazing.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Oh, very nice. Amazing. So we have, I put up a poll earlier this week, and it was a close tie there, but Barbara's look, which she created for her, won that poll closely by Poppy. So I thought maybe we can talk through first just the process on how you pulled together that look for Barbara, and then we'll sort of jump into the questions. How does that sound?
Sure. So she was attending Mugler show in Paris, and it was the trio of Owen, myself, and Barbara, and we're all really close friends. So it honestly doesn't feel like work at all. We always have the best time. It's very relaxed and chilled, and it's very collaborative as well. I love how Barbara loves to get involved. She's always got great ideas. Owen's amazing on hair, and the three of us just work together so well, and it's very effortless and easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
And honestly, it tends to start with the outfit because your talent will show you what they're wearing, and in this case, Barbara had basically a cat suit, and it had these kind of nude pieces that weren't nude, and we wanted to keep it quite minimal but chic but elevated all at the same time. So obviously, as you saw, I did really just beautiful flawless skin, and it was all about that cat eye. And then with Owen, with the hair, we had the beautiful headband and just that soft round curl to her hair, and I think it came together really beautifully.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. She looks absolutely stunning, and she pulls off the cat eye so well.
Definitely.
Like she looks amazing in a cat eye.
Yeah.
We actually did have a question around how you would, create that sort of winged cat eye look, on yourself. So maybe we could sort of step through and sort of go through how you would that process and how you would create a winged eye.
So obviously with liners, there's so many different ways you can approach it, and you obviously need to work with your eye shape depending if your eyes are hooded or you've got wide set, close set eyes, etc. And there's also different tools you can use. You can use a pencil, or you can use like a marker, or you can use like a brush with a gel liner. So they're kind of three different options. So it depends like which route you want to take, how long you want to wear it for. One of my favorites, I'm going to show you, is the Tom Ford liner. So this, I've been using this for years, and this is a staple in my kit, especially for anything graphic. You can see, you know, it's got that very short pointed end and the longer end.
Yeah.
And I like how it doesn't really smudge or move. So once it's on it dry, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to, you know, crease and come undone.
Yeah.
So I use that a lot in my work. I also love the Inglot gel pot liner, which is super affordable. And then, you know, Mac's also got a really great gel liner that I love, Black Track. And then for the pencils, you know, there's so many great pencils on the market. I love Victoria Beckham does a very beautiful Kajal liner that absolutely glides on, and she's got a really cool color range. And then I just started to try out Lisa Eldridge's liner, and that's also super seamless, and it just glides on. It goes on so easily.
Yeah.
And my tip for everyone is just to get it on there and then use micellar water and a pointed cotton tip and clean it up. I think people get scared, and it's makeup, and the whole point of it is to go on and off. And you know, I always hold my breath. I must say, I do have a very steady hand, and if you're a makeup artist watching, you know, it's good to get that point of steadiness with the finger and kind of like, I always just hold my breath and whoosh go. And hope for the best. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and obviously ask the hair person to stop working if you need.
I know. Yeah, exactly. And it is, yeah, everything needs to be steady for that moment.
Yeah. So, but I love liner looks. I think they look fabulous. Whether it's graphic, smudged out, it's one. I love making the eyes pop on my clients, as you can probably tell.
No, absolutely. They're sort of synonymous with your work, because and the thing is it more so just like pop it on and then almost finesse it with like the micellar water, like create the shape. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, yeah. It is a very daunting feat going in for a wing liner, because it is like you know, because the attention then goes to the eyes, so you kind of want to make sure.
And the other thing to remember, even if you're watching and you're doing it on yourself, most people that, even with myself, my eyes are different on each side. So you kind of have to do it a little bit differently on each side to get that symmetry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, you know, you can also cheat. I see people using the tape if you need that. That makes it easier, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Almost create a bit of a template.
But always if you're a makeup artist, you know, you always get your clients to look straight ahead when you're checking. You know, you put it on, look ahead, and then keep going and working until you get it right.
Yeah, fantastic. And so should we talk about some skin prep?
Yeah.
So we did get a question around what your sort of process is. Oh, that's lovely. The best makeup artist is Tobi. That's so sweet. So should we talk through your philosophy around how you prepare your client's skin before makeup?
So being Australian, I am obsessed with the brand Rationale. And if you're not aware of it, it's Australian skincare brand. And I pulled out my favorite product from the line. This is the #1 serum. And the smell of this is gorgeous as well. Every time I like, you know, rub it into my hands and like, you know, they take a breath and it's just like this beautiful Australian scent. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's citrusy, right? I don't know if you...
that's right. It is. It's very, it
just smells like, I don't know, to me it smells like home and a bit of summer. In a bottle. And, you know, I like to massage this into the skin. I also wear this myself every single day. And yeah, I think you need to start with something very hydrating, whether it's a serum or oil, and just really work that into the skin. That whole line's amazing. I also really love Augustina's Barter products. This is the cream. This is a really beautiful moisturizer for under makeup. I have used this since it came out and I love it. What else? I love for glow. I know it's not skincare, but I guess it's in that category. Is this it's called the Glowy Super Gel, and this is Star Glow. And there's a bronzer one if you want that more tan kind of. I've got a little bit on it. I don't know if you can
Oh
see.
yeah, lovely. Yeah, nice.
But yeah, I just decant. This bottle's so heavy,
Mm-hmm.
so I just put it in a little like bottle for my kit. And yeah, I also love, I know you're going to ask me about primers, and I pulled out, this is really hard to find now. I don't know if they're discontinuing it. This is Tom Ford
Yeah.
Illuminating Primer, but I've been using this for years for that beautiful glow.
Yeah.
So that's something else I love in the skincare process.
Mm-hmm.
I love a really good lip balm for my clients. Anything, I like coconut smells, and I always like to put things on and people are like, yum, or smells good.
Like it's a
Because,
nice,
you know, it should be
experience.
relaxing and therapeutic as well, the whole
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, totally.
This is another good one. I don't know if you can still get this. This is
Yeah, at the Dior
yeah.
face. Is that
It
the?
was kind of hard to find for a minute. I don't know. It's called Dior Backstage Face and Body Glow.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
gives a beautiful, you know, golden kind of glow to the skin.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone knows this one. The Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand
Yeah.
in Spotlight.
Gorgeous.
So this is obviously tops of the cheeks and like a little bit on the nose. But yeah, also I forgot to mention, I always start with a mask, and I pulled out some of my favorites. I just got sent these. These are beautiful gold under eye masks.
Yeah.
I don't have any left, but Skin Iceland cooling masks. I'm obsessed with those. This one's nice. Bioeffect, cosmetics I really like. Clé de Peau.
Yeah.
And I love this brand. This is on Net-a-Porter if you're looking. It's Decree.
Oh, okay.
And they're very hydrating. So I tend to start with a mask no matter what. And then from there we go in, and I'll do an eye cream and everything as well.
Okay. Do you use any like skin tools, like just kind of massage the mask in to, you know, depuff and things
I
like
tend to
that?
use my hands, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I just tend to like, you know, try and like pull, you know, under the cheekbone, the jawline, and just, you know, let the client relax for a minute, take a breather, and just kind of enjoy a little 5-minute massage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Everything sounds so like beautiful, and like, and as you said, like that experience of it making it they feel good through that process as well. That's important too.
Yeah, because at
There was
the end of the day, these girls are going out to do something, you know, where there might be big crowds, or they've got to speak or sing, or like my clients are, you know, very diverse in what they do. And, you know, you want to just have that calm moment in glam before they get ready to do whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Amazing. There was a question that came through just before. It was a good question. Do you use contour first, or would you prefer foundation over concealer as a base, which brings out the best for a little pale skin? So I'm thinking it's more so like, do you contour first, then go in with complexion on top?
I tend to start with complexion.
Yeah.
I've pulled out my favorite, trusty Armani Luminous Silk, which I used on Barbara for that look that everybody loved.
Yeah.
I like to do this with my foundation brush, and I buff that in. I also like to wet a beauty blender, and I really press in the product with the sponge. I like it to like really look like skin and not be on top of the skin. Like it has to, everything for me, I'm always less is more.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do a little dot, 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 and, you know, sometimes just a pump can get me through, like maybe 2.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, I mean, I'm very lucky. My clients have beautiful skin, and they obviously take very good care of themselves. So that makes my job much easier. And, you know, I just use a little bit of that, and then I use this on Barbara. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. And, you know, I'll just do a couple dots under the eyes, and then maybe just a little bit in the center, but not too much. I just feel like if the girls don't need it, why kind of cover nothing that needs to be covered?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's fair. And we actually had a question, I think you sort of touched on it just then, around how you achieve, because you are like, honestly, every single time your client hits a red carpet, or they've got that sort of very glowy, flawless skin. I mean, when you and Poppy are working together, it's just like magic. And it is, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I just think I love the work that you do with her. But yeah, how do you, so do you say they sort of, those complexion products, those sort of pieces that you mentioned, are sort of your process to achieving that glowy, flawless skin?
Yeah, and I mean with Poppy too, she'll often come straight from a facial to
Yeah.
me because, we work in Paris a lot together, and the brands will invite her in and she'll go have a quick facial and then she'll run back over and we'll start glam. So I'm very lucky. Sometimes the clients come and they're just like glowing already,
Yeah.
and it makes my job very easy. And if they've just come off a plane, I can do it for them with my own products that I've just spoken about as well. So it's kind of a mix. And obviously, not using too much products so their beauty isn't covered up too much. And I realized I forgot this guy. This is another one I use on complexion. This is a Chanel I can never pronounce their product, so excuse me with the French. Les Beige. It's the Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid, and this comes in different shades. This is a really pretty shade called Sunkissed, which is gorgeous on like medium toned skin.
Yeah, brilliant. Amazing. Do you actually, I was reading somewhere that, applying your highlighter, your cream or liquid highlighter, like as part of your skincare routine before complexion, it kind of then mimics your skin a bit more than it's sitting on top. Do you do the same as well in your process?
Definitely. Yeah. So I'll tend to lay down skincare, a primer, and then I will put a bit of the glow on under the foundation. So like something like this guy, the Side Beauty, or I might use a Chanel, or I might use the Dior, but I have several options in several different tones depending on the client. And I don't know if other people do this, but I always ask my clients too what color jewelry they're wearing. Because if they're wearing gold, I like the highlights to be all golden. And if they're wearing silver, I like to do, silvery tones in the reflex of the gold, like the highlight.
Oh, that's such a great tip.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't even think about that. That's, oh my God, yes, great tip. Because you want that sort of cohesiveness there, like, amazing. And we talked about complexion products. There's some questions here. Complexion products. Do you use primers? So the one that you do use, is it the Tom Ford, or do you use other?
I love the Tom Ford if you want that super glowy. On Barber, for the look that everyone voted for, I use this one. This is the Luminous Silk Hydrating Primer by Armani. And this one is just beautiful on kind of anybody, to be honest. It hydrates the skin. It makes the foundation wear really well. What else? Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can reach it. I've got all these bags everywhere. This one sec. It is. Oh, I tried to pull my kit out, but I've got so many products escaping. I love this one. This is Victoria Beckham's and Augustina Sparta. They did like a collab, and it's the Cell Rejuvenating Primer. And it comes in like a normal and a golden. And I love the golden.
Okay.
It feels like super hydrating, and you get that bit of like glisten on the skin.
Yeah.
And, I'm in my 40s now, so I wear these like all the time too. I just feel like it's a good pick-me-up to wear in the makeup.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, amazing. I love that, all sort of, those sort of glowy products, but also at the same time, brilliant skincare that's gonna look after your skin too. So it's like a.
I don't wear foundation anymore, to be honest.
Right.
Like not much. Like if I'm going out, which is very rare. But I just find personally, if obviously it starts with the inside, what you put inside your body, and then your skincare. I've just been wearing this. This is by Rationale. This is a beautiful skin. And it's like little like moisturizing tinted drops.
Okay.
And I just kind of rub that in. So yeah, if you look after your skin, you can wear next to nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I do need to book in for a facial at Rationale. I know you love it so much. Yeah. For the eyes, are you ever using highlighter on the lids?
Actually, that's a good question. I want to pull out these. I feel like these are a favorite amongst a lot of people.
Mm.
I have this one and I have the golden color. But
Yeah.
like we were talking about before, gold jewelry, silver jewelry, but obviously
Mm-hmm.
this one's fun because, you know, if you're doing like something with pinks in it or you're really bronzy, you know, beach girl kind of look. But I love these like in the center of the eye and a little bit under that brow bone. These are really pretty. Or even like just in the center
Yeah.
of the lid.
Yeah,
And they pick
beautiful.
up shine.
Yeah, fantastic. We did have a question, favorite eyeshadows for a sparkly, not too like glittery look.
Yeah, okay. So in my kit, I have the 3 Makeup by Mario palettes.
Mm-hmm.
I have the mattes, the metallics, and then this one, which is so pretty.
Yeah.
This one is called Ethereal Eyes, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if you want that beautiful metallic kind of in several shades, these are really nice. They're not too glittery. They just have like, you know, a bit of shine to them, but I highly recommend these. I also love,
Yeah.
obviously, Tom Ford. The eye quads are amazing, and the Charlotte Tilbury quads
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like lean into as well. And then Dior, the 5, they're like 5 colors.
Yeah.
They're really good
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, fantastic. And when you build that eye, when it's just very that pearlescent, do you kind of create a bit of definition or some kind of like depth with like more of a neutral base before you go
Mm.
in with, or do you go straight with the sort of sparkly eyeshadow and pop it on as its own?
So I love a cream shadow to start.
Okay.
You'll never see me getting concealer on a light eyelid. I hate that.
Okay.
I love to start with, I always like use micellar water. I clean the eyelid so there's no oil. Then
Mm-hmm.
I like to use something creamy. This is the Armani eye tint.
Mm-hmm.
They have these in mattes and in like metallics. So I'll tend to like, say for instance, I'm doing a copper eye. I'll find something in the color I want it to be, and that'll be the base. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then work from there. Or, you know, the black matte paint
Yeah.
pots. If I'm doing something like the other day, I was working on an African American model and I wanted like a really strong pigment. So I laid down like a black paint pot and then put the metallic on top and then I wet the metallic to give it a little bit more oomph. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay.
it depends on the colors of the skin tone and then the color I want the eyeshadow
Yeah.
to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's great. So always go in with something like a cream eyeshadow
Yeah.
base, either
You know what
liquid.
else are good? Like these kind of I just got sent these, so I haven't opened them, but they're a good example. Bobbi Brown do them, Laura Mercier do them. They're like
Oh
just like
yeah.
an eyeshadow pencil.
Yeah.
I also really like to use these and just like kind of draw all over the lid, blend it out, and then go in with my eyeshadow.
Yeah. Okay. All right, great. And do you like to use bronze? Like the next question is favorite bronzes for a sun-kissed look. Do you use like bronzes in the eyeshadow, like as an eyeshadow
Yes.
too?
You know
Yeah.
what one I've used for years, and it's probably like a bit dated now, but I still love it, is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow.
Oh my God, yes. The
The
OG.
OG. And I've got
The
them in
OG.
the different shades, and
Yeah.
I love those. I also love the Charlotte Tilbury, like the round bronzers. I have those in my kit.
Yeah.
Victoria Beckham bronzers I love. And oh my gosh, you'll also laugh at me. You know, it's a staple. This looks a bit haggard. But the Hula Beauty,
Classic. Exactly.
so
Yes.
good. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
it.
that one too. Yeah. Honestly, like, I think I was speaking to Kieran the other day, and she was talking how much she loves Benefit, and they do
Yeah.
amazing sort of staples like the bronzers, the
Oh, and
browns, the
yeah.
blushes. Yeah,
Totally.
yeah, amazing. And so with that, do you go with like a cream and
Mhm.
then set it with a powder?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzers. I love the
Hmm.
Tom Ford Shade Illuminate in the different shades. I love Milk Makeup do some really nice, and they come in minis, which are great for the
Yeah.
kit. And they've got
Hmm.
like nice cool tone browns. So if you've got like a
Hmm.
really fair model or client, they're really beautiful as well.
Yeah, great. Amazing. And when it comes to blushes as
Mm.
well, do you prefer cream or powder or both? And do you have any sort of favorites that you use?
I am definitely into both. I tend to always obviously start with the cream. I love
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the natural beauty brands do really good cream blushes. So Ilia, the multiple sticks,
Yeah.
multi sticks,
Mm-hmm.
they are beautiful. I also love, you know, the brand Kaya Weiss. I
Yes.
love her colors. They're
Yeah.
amazing, and they come in
Mm-hmm.
very cute packaging. Westman Atelier do
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous creams. And obviously, you know, staples like NARS and MAC are great for powders. Charlotte Tilbury does a great blush. What else is in my kit? Armani. And you know what else? Chanel do, wait, let me see if I can reach it. Uh, Chanel do a little like pot, and it's like a
Mm-hmm.
lip and cheek tint. I,
Oh,
I
yeah.
really like those as well.
Yeah. And where do you tend to sort of place the blush? What's your sort of process around blush
The
placement?
blush is honestly dependent on the client's face. A little cute story. I work with Diane von Furstenberg, and her cheekbones are so high, and she's got amazing bone structure.
Yeah.
And a little trick that she taught me, she likes to do her blush in like kind of like a triangle,
Mm-hmm.
but very high on the face.
Mm-hmm.
And she uses this particular color that she loves and gave me for my own kit. And it's a NARS stick, and I think they discontinued it, and she bought like a ton of them. And so, yeah, I always use that very high on the face. But yeah, it depends if they've got like an oval or round face. But
Yeah.
I always love to pull the blush upwards.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
trick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great. Someone just asked a question here around trying to minimize my makeup routine to make it faster. Any suggestions?
Any suggestions? My
Yeah.
routine's very fast because I'm
Yeah.
I'm very minimal these days. I
Mm-hmm.
tend to do my skincare, and then I always start my brows. We
Mm-hmm.
brush up. I do like a gel, or actually we didn't talk about this, but I love the Anastasia Brow Freeze.
Yeah.
I find that a really good product. And then I fill them in, curl the lashes. These pencils that I showed you are really good. Like if you find tricks that like you can do a wash of these, like this is nude sticks, a wash on the lid just in one color, blend it out, mascara, and then, you know, do a tinted moisturizer, a cheek blush, a cream blush on the cheek,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of bronzer and a lip balm, and I don't know.
You go. Yeah.
You go. A little
Yeah.
cream highlight. Yeah, I don't think you need much. I've got lots of tutorials on my page if people are looking for like quick
Mm.
and easy.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to mascaras, someone had asked favorite mascaras that give volume and separation. Do you have any of your go-tos for that?
I have so many favorite mascaras. I use Armani Luminous, not Luminous Silk, Armani Eyes to
Mm-hmm.
Kill. I use this a lot. P.S. This will not move if you're dunking your head underwater.
Oh, right. Okay. Great.
P.S. I use this like when I used to do a lot of bikini shoots and stuff with my
Yeah.
girls.
Okay.
I love the Dior one. This is a good one. This is waterproof.
Yeah.
Iconic Overkill. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I love, sorry, they're all expensive ones, but we'll get to cheapies.
Yeah.
Byredo do a really great mascara
Mm-hmm.
as well. I've been using this for myself. Swede lashes. This is
Oh,
really
yeah.
good for lengthening and
Yeah.
separation. And then still love L'Oreal Voluminous. Is that what it's
Mm-hmm.
called?
Yeah.
And Maybelline, I think it's Sky High mascara.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And I remember at one of your classes, you were applying mascara with a bit of like with a tiny fan
With the
brush.
wand? Yes,
Yeah.
I
Is
still
that
do
right?
that.
Yeah.
I can't find one right now, but yes,
Yeah. So you
you
take.
can get them from the artist. Is it Kitco? Is
Mm-hmm.
that right?
Yeah. Kitco. Yeah.
They sell them, and they're tiny little fan brushes. And the good thing is you can kind of paint the lash from under and on top. So you really
Yeah.
coat the lashes.
Would you then firstly curl the lash
Yes,
and then go in with that? Yeah. Okay.
always. I love
Yeah.
Tweezerman lash curlers. They're like my
Mm-hmm.
go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Tweezerman lash curlers. Okay. Great. Um, And when it comes to brows, we had a question on how to best create a fuller looking brow.
So I find if you want a lot of like texture and fullness, you need to use different mediums. So I'll just start brushing them up. Then I like to get a very fine like crayon pencil. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love Benefit. Ilia actually do really good brow products too if you're looking for clean beauty. And then I start with like the feathery strokes and get all those in. And then I might put like a gel or the brow freeze in. And then I also like to use, I've got it here. This is the brow powder by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And just using maybe a couple of different shades just for texture and to make it look real, but just keep going through. And obviously, I mean, I've got terrible brows at the moment. I haven't had time to get them done, but like you have to really fake it sometimes. So you need to have different types of products so it doesn't just look like there's just powder, a line of powder, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So speaking for myself, I'm going to throw a question in there because my brows are quite dark. But do you go if you're working with darker brows, would you go with a cooler tone? Would you not like mimic it exactly, but go for something a bit more like cooler, not like lighter?
I tend to go cooler. You definitely, unless you're working with someone with like say auburn coloring, something like this. If it's like your coloring, cooler definitely works. Even with my brow, like I could kind of, I'm on the fence, but I think cooler always looks more flattering in a brow. If the client can like wear that, but if they're, you know, a redhead or strawberry blonde or something and they're very warm in the brow, stick to that.
Okay, great. Fantastic. All right. Now how about we jump into some lipsticks?
Yeah.
Someone asked your favorite nude lipsticks as well as any red matte lipsticks as well.
Yeah, so I actually don't have some of my favorite lipsticks right now because what I tend to do, and this is why my kit's so heavy too and I break my back all the time, is I take the bullets and I give them to clients because they obviously need them for the red carpet, etc. We're not always allowed to follow them. But some of my favorite nudes, 100% Tom Ford Sable Smoke. Stunning. I've used this on, I used to use it, you know who introduced me to it is, I used to work with Jessie J on The Voice and she wore it all the time and I became obsessed with it from her. Blankety from MAC is a good one. Makeup by Mario do some really nice nudes and Chanel obviously have those really beautiful like brown undertone nudes. And then for reds, again, there's a Tom Ford. It's a liquid lip luxe matte in rosy red. And it goes on like paint and it just dries and it's the most beautiful classic bold red and it doesn't really move. I actually used it the other week and then I wanted the color but then I wanted it gloss. So it went matte and then I put like a gloss on top and it just looked divine. So that's one of my favorites. I still love, I think because I grew up doing MAC, you know, I was on the MAC teams backstage and stuff, and I love like Ruby Woo and all those colors. I've got like a little MAC pot with all my colors decanted. I think I have it here. So you can see like all the classics. Some pinks, some browns, some reds. What else do I like? I mean, Charlotte Tilbury I always have in my kit. I always have like some Saint Laurent lipsticks. Kind of a mix. And I like to have different textures as well. I like to have cream, satin, and matte because everyone's different. Like, you know, when I have one client who's a singer and she can't really sing with the gloss, you know, it doesn't really make sense. So you've kind of got to like figure out what the client needs as well.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any favorite glosses? Because I know some like when you work with sort of with Poppy and she's got that beautiful glossy sort of nude lip. Do you have any sort of your favorites?
The Tom Ford ones, again, I'm going to forget the name, but there's one called Gracious. And they're in like rectangle. They're very luxurious looking. But Tom Ford do gorgeous glosses. I love the cream sheens from MAC. I love... they're probably like two of my go-tos, but Yeah, we're very lucky. We get gifted a lot of beautiful lip products to try and give out.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's always
yeah,
fun.
great. And what about trying to kind of create a bit of a fuller lip, like
Hmm.
as if you've got do you use like a lip
Yeah.
liner to do that, like to kind of almost cheat a fuller lip?
Yeah, so I pulled out one of my current favorite lip liners. This is Endless Cacao, which is
Hmm.
very popular at the moment. It's a nice kind
Yeah.
of 90s brown.
Hmm.
And, you know, I have no top lip. So when I'm doing it, you know, you just go above and you put it on. And then I like to get a brush. I use my lip brush and I
Yeah.
kind of blend it out.
Okay.
And then I always make sure I go around it with my concealer. And I love
Hmm.
doing this with the NARS creamy concealers. I find they
Yeah.
sit really well. And then
Hmm.
I'll powder it. And you know, you can obviously cheat any kind of lip look. Like you can
Mm.
really change the whole look depending which shape you do the lips. Like you can make it wider here, or you can make it a little bit longer, like on the
Yeah.
bottom. So,
Yeah. So so Endless Cacao is kind of your go-to because it's that kind of very cool
yeah, I
tone, isn't
found,
it?
especially just in like the Europe trip I just finished in September and October.
Mm.
And I feel like the 90s was just like everyone was obsessed, and all my
Yeah.
clients were like wanting this like brown tone matte. Like it was the same kind of thing, and online was seeing all this. So before I left, I literally made like a 90s lip bag, and I
Yeah.
had, you know, lots of matte browns, lots of brown lip liners, just so, you know, we could carry on that theme. And I often do that, like before I go on a work trip, I'll think about, you know, who I'm working with, what they like, what I might need, and it's sometimes
Mm.
it's hard because you know you got to take so much stuff to be prepared,
I
and
know.
the bag gets really heavy really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask if you get a bit of time to prepare like that, especially if you, because if you're going away, because I know you do a lot of the work with on in the festivals and fashion weeks, and
Hmm.
do you get time or like understand at least, oh, they might be wearing this,
Yeah,
or so that you can prepare like
not
potentially what
really.
was it very much you just arrive and it's like, okay, let's create something.
Yeah, most,
Yeah, well,
to be honest, 90% of the time, especially with Fashion Week, because a lot of the girls can get invited last minute too. Like
mm,
it's a mix. Some people
yeah,
know well in advance, and sometimes it's the last minute. So
yeah,
it's everything in between. And, you know, definitely with the looks, they'll do a fitting maybe the day prior. They'll fly
hmm,
in to Milan or Paris, and they'll go to the house, they'll get their look, and they'll work with their stylist,
yeah,
etc. And you
yeah,
turn up to their hotel room and they pull out something and they go, "What do you think?" Or so it
yeah,
can be like this, or I try to be prepared and I always try and contact my client the night before and just say, "What are you wearing? Did you have a look in mind?" And sometimes I like that as well because in my mind, especially, you know, I've had days in Paris where I've had, you know, 6 back-to-backs,
yes,
and I need to like stay on schedule. And so if there's a bit of like hesitation with the look, it can slow you down. So sometimes I like
yes.
to lock in the look of my clients the night before.
I know. How long does it take you to kind of get someone ready when, especially if you've got those back to backs like that? Because
Yeah.
yeah.
Depending if it typically it's a 2 hour booking.
Hmm.
Sometimes if I'm just looking after, say, I also look after a lot of like executive types or like, you know, people that need to look nice, but you know, we're not taking glam photos and posting them on
Yeah.
Instagram. So sometimes with those type of clients, you might only need an hour and a half. But
Hmm.
for the celebrities and the people that you see front row,
Hmm.
it's typically 2 hours.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Great. Amazing.
Yeah.
Um, that's really, really good. We did get a question that's just come through in the question box around a sort of more bronzy, sort of like blown out eyeshadow
Mm,
look, how you would sort
mhm.
of create that sort of sun kiss. I've just come off
Yeah.
holiday and
Yes.
what are you sort of, would you go with like bronzers to create that?
So depending if you're like doing a shoot with that look or
Mm,
if you're wearing that to an event,
yeah.
you do it differently. Like for example, if I was on set, you could literally get that brown from Shade and Illuminate, the Tom Ford palette, and you could
Hmm.
like wash the eye in that and it'd be really like glossy and
Yeah.
beachy and gorgeous. But
Hmm.
if I'm sending someone off to an event, you know, you want to do something more with an eyeshadow. And like I said, the Makeup by Mario palettes, I would use some of those browns and kind of really smoke it out. Then I might put a little bit of that brown metallic on the eye. So yeah, and then I also really like Teddy by MAC. It's a chocolate kind of metallic liner.
Yeah.
And I often use that for those looks, and I'll kind of, you know, rim the eyes top and bottom, blow that out as well, and use the liner as like that. We were talking about depth in eyeshadow. And Costa Riche by MAC is another really good one for that kind of blown out, chocolatey, warm, gorgeous eye.
Yeah, great. Amazing. Fantastic. And so do you have a favorite sort of red carpet moment in your career that you're like, oh my God, this is like, a good one for the books for you personally?
Oh, that's such a hard one. I mean, there's been a lot, and to be honest, sometimes I look back and like, you know, sometimes the most chaotic ones are just like so memorable when, you know, you've been, you know, a client's late or their plane's delayed, or like, I remember Bambi once, you know, she flew into Milan and her plane was delayed and she was going to Prada, and I'm not joking, Peter Lux and I got her ready in 20 minutes.
Yeah, wow.
So, you know, you have these kind of moments, and then you have like things like Met Gala, which I'm always with Diane and Talita, and like it's like family, and I've been with them now, I think 5 or 6 years, and you know, every year's so special because I just adore them. And then, you know, I always love my glams with Barbara and Owen because we're such good friends, and then Poppy's just the sweetest human, so I always love working with her. But yeah, I'm very fortunate because I've come over here as an Aussie, and I work with some really lovely people, and they let me, you know, create some really fun looks and stuff. So yeah.
No,
very
it's
grateful.
No, it's great. So for some people that might be on the live today that, you know, probably want some insight in terms of your kind of career history and how it started as well. Because obviously, you know, from Australia, from Sydney. You know, how does sort of, how did you get to New York, I guess? How did you get to the States from, what was the plan?
So it's been, I want to say it's been like 15 years now since I started. And to be honest, I had another career. I was a school teacher, and I decided I wanted a creative outlet. And I started to assist a makeup artist in Sydney who introduced me to my makeup teacher. I did a short course at night, started assisting before I went into makeup full time. And, you know, I did a lot of bridal. I did a lot of, you know, mix of things before getting right into fashion and celebrity. And then I met Margaret Zhang very early in my career, and she was probably, you know, a really critical person in my career because she invited me to come to my first New York Fashion Week many years ago, and that's kind of how I started to do New York. She took me to Milan, and that's when I decided I wanted to move over here because I saw this other side to the industry that Australia didn't have, and I saw the scope, and I saw, you know, there's, you know, more people in every category, like music, fashion, film, etc. So yeah, I made the move 7 years ago now. Isn't that crazy?
I know, it's crazy.
And, you know, I just came over here and I had to work really, really hard, and it was lonely and depressing at times. And, you know, you're on the other side without your family and your friends, and you've got to make a new life. And now, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm very grateful. But it wasn't like, oh, sunshine and rainbows.
No. I sometimes contemplate that. You know, we are far. We're sort of on the other side of the world in Australia, and a lot of my work is now, you know, I'm talking to people where you are and in Europe, and I'm like, do I move and make the move? And I'm like, it's a thing, you know. And I think we spoke about that, and you were very instrumental in encouraging me to kind of keep following my creative passion. And I remember we were talking, and I was in a corporate role. That's kind of what I do. And you were like, no, you should definitely, you know, if you're passionate about it, follow that. And I always remember that. So, but yeah, you've got to, but the hustle is real. Like that's what it is. You've got to hustle, and you have.
And even now, it doesn't stop. Like, I've achieved a lot, and I'm very proud of myself. But there's always, you know, things you want to do and people you want to work with, and every day, like every week I should say, you know, you're on an option for a job and you get released, and you know these things happen, clients change and work with someone else,
Yeah.
and you just kind of got to wipe it off and
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
so
Absolutely. And do you have any exciting plans for 2024? Anything that you're looking forward to? Any exciting projects?
um I just want to keep traveling and enjoying. I really love where I'm at right now. I love my
Yeah.
clients. I love the jobs I'm doing, the people I'm creating with. And yeah, I hope to be healthy. I've had a few injuries. I really, sorry to get negative,
Oh,
but I hurt my shoulder this year and I was like, wow, like
oh,
I really need to take care of myself. So,
yeah.
yeah, I
Oh,
just hope to be, you know, happy and healthy. I think
yeah, of
that's all I
course.
care
Well, like,
about. And
yeah, absolutely. And I don't blame you for that because of the kits that you're kind of carrying
yeah.
around and going up and down the stairs. And it's, as you said, there's the not so glamorous side of
Oh, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Speaking of
Yeah.
kits, there is a question here that came through as well this week. Would love to know what key skincare and makeup products you'll always find in Tobi's kits.
Okay. So I'm going to show the two. This serum, I think
Mm-hmm.
everyone needs to try this. If you're into skincare and you want to have beautiful, hydrated, glowy skin, this is a Rationale #1 serum that I use on me
Yeah.
and my clients. And the Augustinus Barta, the cream. I would say these two are like, I can't live without. Like, I just need those to feel confident that my client's skin's going to look good.
Yeah, amazing. And any sort of your key makeup bits as well that you kind of you've tried and tested, you can always rely on them. Yeah.
My makeup brushes, if you don't have them, you can
Yeah.
check them out. But honestly, like this was such a fun project, and I'm so
Yes.
happy that, you know, I would never have made my own brushes if it wasn't for my friend Joseph Main. So
Yeah.
shout out Joseph and Sabrina for inviting me to do this cool collab. And
Amazing.
then honestly, I love like Luminous Silk for me is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've been using this forever. What else? The Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks I think are so chic
Mm-hmm.
and beautiful, and the colors are amazing. Yeah, I mean everything I've spoken about today, I'm very honest with like what I use, and
Yeah.
I never can fake something. Like even
Mm.
with brand collaborations, if you see me doing a like collaboration, it's something I truly believe in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Um, and with the actual brush
Mm,
collab, how did that come about? And how long did it take you to kind of, decide on the
yeah.
brushes and what's the process like?
So it came up during COVID when we were all kind of not doing much. And
Mm.
Joseph reached out, and we've been good friends for years and worked together. And he just said, you know, we'd love to, you know, create a product together. Would you want to do your own makeup brush set? And I was like, sure. And, you know, he's such a good businessman, and he really
Yeah.
facilitated a lot of like the behind the scenes work. And I was very lucky. I got to do all the fun stuff like pick the brushes and pick the colors and kind of like figure out how the set was going to look and feel.
Yeah.
And I wanted the brushes to be one, affordable. So the whole set's $69 for 12 brushes. And I
Hmm.
didn't want to leave anyone out. You know, I wanted people to be
Yeah.
able to afford a set of brushes that they can keep
Hmm.
and travel with.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I love purple. So I got to choose a color, and I didn't realize till I did this how many shades of purple there are.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like trying to decide,
Yeah.
like they send me options and I'm like, oh my God, they're so close but so different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and just even like choosing the actual like these are so soft and they blend
Yeah.
really well. And yeah, I wanted all the brushes to be super versatile. So like for
Yeah.
instance, you know, one brush you can do cream blush, you can do powder, you can kind of mix it up.
Hmm. Amazing. And where can people get your brushes
So
from?
So there's a link in my bio, my Instagram, or you can just go to trademarkbeauty.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, my purple's my favorite color too. I need those brushes in my
Yes,
life.
I do.
Yeah. Someone asked what was that foundation? It was the Giorgio Armani
Yeah,
Luminous Silk. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
one. All right, amazing. Well, thank you so much. It's been super helpful and really insightful in terms of really unpacking your kit and also your process
Yeah,
in pulling together all these amazing looks. I
thank
really appreciate
you.
it. It's been so fun.
Oh, you know what I forgot to show you, Anita, is the
Yeah.
lashes I like.
Ah,
Have you
yes,
seen the
Lashify.
lashes,
Mhm.
Lashify? These are really cool. If you're someone who likes, I mean,
Yeah,
you can't really see,
yeah.
but they're like so easy to use, and you put them underneath the lash. And I've been using these a lot on red
Yeah.
carpet, and
Okay.
everyone's really in love with them at the moment over here. I don't know, can you get those in Australia?
I have to look into it, but I think maybe I'm not sure if they do like global shipping, but
Mm,
it definitely would be, I'd have to, yeah, via probably Lashify direct,
yeah,
but I've got to look into it because I can't apply lashes to save my life. So, but I've heard they're, easier to kind
much
of
easier.
navigate.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even for
Okay.
clients, they just look more natural. You don't have like that sitting on top kind of
Mm,
band, or even
yeah.
if you're using like, I also use like in the past I've used like Adele's, they sit on
Mm-hmm.
top. So
Yeah.
these are just like more invisible to the eye, I think.
Yeah. So you kind of pop them on with the glue and then you sort of place them underneath the
Underneath.
lash.
And then you have like there's a wand and you
Yeah.
probably fuse them
Seal them
together.
together. Ah,
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to, everybody that I've spoken to in this series, all the artists have loved Lashify.
Yeah,
It is a part of their kit, so I've got to try it out. I've got to
you
try
have
them.
to.
Oh, thank you so much, Toby. Are you
Thanks,
coming
Anita.
to Australia anytime
I
soon?
am. I come like in a couple of weeks. I'm
Oh
so
my
excited.
God.
Yeah.
Amazing. Are you here for holiday season?
I'm
Are you here for
just here for like
Christmas?
Christmas, New Year. I'm going away with my parents on a holiday and then back to the US.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Oh, well, thank you again so much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure, and also really nice to see you again.
You too. Thanks so much for having me. I really
Of
enjoyed this.
course. Yeah, likewise. It was so fun. And thank you so much, everybody, for sending through those great questions. We hope it was helpful. Yeah, I'll save this and it will go on to the page for future reference as well.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks so
Anita.
much, Suri. Have a good
Bye.
afternoon. Bye. Bye, everyone.